Hey there, I'm Brandon Shope, and thank you so much for joining us here on Blue Talk. Today, a very serious topic that we're going to be addressing. In less than 2 months, we have had 2 horrific crimes that have occurred within the Wilmington community, where the victim was killed as a result of domestic violence. These have been horrible tragedies, terrible, terrible tragedies, and we wanted to provide you with some very important information concerning domestic violence on this special edition of Blue Talk. And joining me right now is Detective Holt Waddell with the Wilmington Police Department, in addition to Mandy Hoover. She is the Direct Services and Outreach Director at the Domestic Violence Shelter and Services serving New Hanover County. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. All right. So as we mentioned, we've seen, unfortunately, several homicides here lately as a result of domestic violence. It's heartbreaking for the families. It's heartbreaking for the entire community. It really is. Starting off, I mean, for you, Detective, you know, some folks that may be involved in an abusive relationship, they may not even know it. What are some of those signs that those folks can be on the lookout for?
Sometimes before the physical abuse starts, there will be some sort of emotional abuse, whether it be controlling of the victim's habits or their transportation or where they go. And then once it progresses to the physical part, any unwanted touch is an assault. It doesn't have to be a punch or a slap. It's being touched in a way that you don't want to be touched by another person, even if it is your boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whatever.
Yes, sir. Now you mentioned some of those signs may start out as emotional, right? Talk a little bit more about that.
Usually we see it in, like I mentioned, the control techniques, the maybe calling them derogatory names, pushing them around, just not treating them with respect in the beginning. It's
a horrible thing for anyone, you know, obviously, to be involved in those early stages, and then once it progresses, and it just, like you said, it continues to get worse, it sounds like. Okay. So for you, Mandy, you know, what resources are available here in the Wilmington community? I know, in addition, you know, to the detective, you guys do great work for the community as well.
And so I think it's so important for folks to know that there are options. Like Detective Waddell was saying, domestic violence is all about power and control. And the more isolated an abuser can make their partner, the more control they have. And so it's really important for us as a community to let people know that there are options out there. So our agency provides wraparound services for folks who are going through all stages of this process. We have an office located at 2901 Market Street. That's called the Open Gate. And folks can come in anytime, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, to learn more about the services that we provide, to get help, to work on a safety plan, and to get connected with some of these life-saving services. We also offer emergency shelter, court advocacy and accompaniment, safety planning, empowerment, and really just try to meet survivors where they are, to let them know that they don't deserve this, they are not causing this, and that there is hope out there.
Well, that is wonderful, just to provide as well, of course, those resources, but also to provide hope, because a lot of these folks, they don't have any, right?
Yeah, that's the abuser's goal, is to make them feel like they don't have any options if they leave. And a lot of times, folks who are trying to help can end up reinforcing that. We have these ideas like, if it's so bad, then you would just leave. And there's so much judgment and guilt and blame that comes with that. And none of us want survivors to be in unsafe situations. We want them to get out and get safe and live happy lives and be treated with respect. But there's nothing just about this. There's so many barriers that people face and have to overcome when they're leaving relationships. And I think it's important for us to remember that when folks are leaving, that's one of the very most dangerous times. That's when abusers are losing that power that they're used to having. And that's unfortunately when we can see things really escalate. And so the moral there is not to have them stay, but it does say that we need a plan and they need a lot of support as they're leaving.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent. And say I was talking, I've talked with several folks, through the years who have sadly dealt with this. And it's a horrible thing, as we mentioned before. If they don't know where to turn, and maybe they feel scared, and maybe they want to go back to that person, because mentally they have damaged, many things. What can they do?
Oh, that's such a good question. And, all relationships are complicated. And even relationships that aren't abusive seldom end with just one discussion or one kind of clean break. And so it's important that we realize that if we're here to support people, that it's a complicated process and that they need places to turn where folks can listen and help them weigh the pros and cons and help them make a plan that they feel is going to be sustainable, because leaving is not one size fits all. And so we do have staff available 24 hours a day. Folks can call 910-343-0703 to speak with an advocate confidentially. And we can listen and help them sort through where they are in that process. When we talk with survivors, we often hear that there's one person that really stepped up and made a difference. And sometimes that can be law enforcement, that can be friends and family, that can be an employer, it can be a doctor, a hairdresser. Like, you never know who that person is going to be that touches them and changes their life and gives them hope. So we all have that power.
Wonderful. Well, I think it's great what you guys are doing over there. I mean, I really do. And, we definitely want to empower, these folks and have them come forward. Detective, I know you guys are working here at the WPD to combat domestic violence within the Wilmington community. Talk to me about some of those things that you and your team are doing on a daily basis. I mean, you're working around the clock.
Correct. We meet with a lot of folks in our office, which District Attorney Ben David has a family violence task force that houses myself, 2 county detectives, and some assistant district attorneys in the suite. We get sent a lot of people. A lot of people get referred to us. We talk to them. We explain their options as far as protective orders. If criminal charges are appropriate, we will look into that. And really just to talk to them, listen to them, and let them know, look, there's other people out there going through this. You think that it's just you, but I've seen people move on from this, and you can do it also.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
We also try to raise awareness through things like Take Back the Night, events through the year that invite the public to come out and let them know what they can do if they are victims, or if they know or suspect somebody is a victim of domestic violence.
I'll be honest with you, I'd never been to Take Back the Night before, and I went this year. This is my first time there. And that was incredible. I mean, to see everyone out there and just empowered and out there in the streets and bringing this that is so often in the darkness into the light, and that is incredible. Is there anything else that either of you would like to add? Maybe something I forgot to ask or left out?
Well, I just want to recognize the amazing work that is happening right here in our community. I think sometimes we feel like this is a hopeless issue, and it's something that we know is happening right here, and it has really serious life and death consequences. But like Detective Waddell, who's sitting right here next to me, was our winner this year of the Impact Award here in New Hanover County for the outstanding work he's doing. And that comes from other professionals and peers, and also from survivors that we hear directly from, that this touches their lives. And so as a community, we can come together and do a lot about this. Look out for each other. If you are concerned or you're seeing some warning signs, such as isolation and changes in behavior in someone that you care about, reach out to us and we can talk with you about how to appropriately respond and offer support.
And most importantly is we realize how delicate that first step is, to take the initiative to try and get out of a relationship. That is the most important thing somebody can do, whether it's the victim or someone who knows of a victim, is take that first step, talk to us, talk to somebody.
Sir. And that first step, we're going to provide our folks who are going to be watching this with the resources, the number, the links to the website, because we want you, if you are in an abusive relationship, to come forward to get the help that you deserve. And I just want to thank Detective Waddell and thank you as well, Ms. Mandy, for joining us today. We really do appreciate the work you're doing here in the Wilmington community and beyond, really.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And we're going to provide those resources like I mentioned before, and more information will be available at the link at the bottom of the screen right here, and also at the number listed as well. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.